Aion 2 at least will have 8 available classes: Gladiator, Templar, Assassin, Ranger, Chanter, Cleric, Sorcerer, and Spiritmaster. Same like in original Aion at the start. But what will be different is something regarding weapons. If you didn't know until this moment, well, I have some interesting information for you. For each class, there will be only one available weapon to use. Yes, you heard right. So you cannot swap in the combat between two weapons. We have seen that type of MMORPGs a lot recently within the last few years. Not only that you cannot swap between two weapons for each class, every class will have available only one weapon to use. So for example, for Gladiator, you can use only Greatsword. For Templar, you can use only Sword and Shield. For Assassin, Daggers. For Ranger, it will be Longbow. For Chanter, Staff. For Cleric, Shield and Mace. For Sorcerer, it will be Spellbook or Book, however you want to call it. And for Spiritmaster, Orb. Actually 2 orbs. To clarify situation entirely, let's dive in today's video. Before we start, let me just say subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of Aion 2 videos in the future. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm preparing lots of guides for new players, PvP wise and PvE wise, best builds for each class, guilds, dungeons, raids, crafting, news and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of Aion 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of Aion 2. But now let's focus on the main topic of this video. One weapon per class in Aion 2. We have get this information officially from developers of this game, NCSoft, but not only from developers of the game. Until this moment, there were so far 2 FGT tests, closed type of the tests over there on servers in Korea and Taiwan. We didn't get too much information from these 2 tests. However, what we have get was very important. Players who have played Aion 2 for the first time, they have confirmed that you can use only one weapon per class. Which weapon for which class? You'll find out in today's video and you'll hear my analysis as veteran player of Aion. Do I like it actually or not? And what this actually could mean for future of Aion 2. So let's start with Gladiator. This beautiful melee DPS class, my main class for most of the time within last 15 years. In Aion 2, Gladiator can use only Greatsword as the main weapon. You heard right, Greatsword, not Polyarm, not Spear, which is actually a massive surprise. When I was playing Gladiator in original Aion, I was using so many different weapons for Gladiator. At one point in time, I remember I was using even dual maces. Yes, dual maces because of higher magical accuracy. If you ask, why would you need higher magical accuracy on a Gladiator? Because of skill effects. They were very viable for playing PvE. Not that much for PvP, but that was update 2.x, 3.x. I remember I was playing Gladiator with double maces. And later, I was using on Gladiator many different weapons, including even longbow. Because yeah, if you need a range, if you need to catch somebody, you can hit it from the distance with longbow. So I was able to use on Gladiator so many different weapons. However, now in Aion 2, Greatsword, not a Polyarm. Maybe the reason they are implementing Greatsword for Gladiator as a main weapon is that because they are saving Polyarm or Spear for some other future class. Regarding new classes of Aion 2, I'm preparing special dedicated video on my YouTube channel because we already have some information. I don't want to reveal at this point in time, but you will see that video on my YouTube channel very soon. However, for Gladiator, sadly, main weapon only Greatsword, and that's it. No other weapon. Regarding Templar, another beautiful melee class, main tank of this game, still also in Aion 2. Main weapons of this class will be sword and shield. Is that a surprise? Not really. This is kind of standard thing. It will be very beautiful to see in action Templar of Aion 2. We've already seen a little bit of gameplay footage, not too much regarding Templar. We have seen triple pull. You can pull many targets closer to you. It will look very similar to original Templar from original Aion. Without any doubt, very useful class to play in PvP and for PvE to go in front as a main tank. Main weapon of Assassin will be, of course, daggers. It will be strange to see Assassin with some other weapon as their main. However, we can see here Assassin main weapon are daggers. We have seen also some interesting presentation regarding Assassin skills. Check that video on my YouTube channel where we can see specifically what kind of skills will have Assassin. Don't worry, runes are there for that class. Also, ambush, you can jump on a target and hit the target from behind. So, Assassin of Aion 2 will remind a lot on Assassin of original Aion, additionally with some AoE skills. So, without any doubt, very powerful melee DPS class with high burst of damage. Let's go forward with a Ranger. Main weapon of this class, absolutely without a surprise, longbow, main weapon and the only weapon. However, I need to add something interesting, not only regarding Ranger, but also regarding other range weapons. In Aion 2, we are going to have range extendable weapons. If you are Aion veteran player, then you already know that extendable weapons are special, unique, very hard to get type of the weapons, which are actually extending a range of your attacks. In original Aion, we had melee extendable weapons, which is a logical thing. So, for example, you could have extendable mace, extendable staff, extendable greatsword, extendable sword, and so on. However, in original Aion, we didn't have extendable range weapons because, come on, that sounds strange, right? Already range weapons have a range. And imagine giving it additional range with extendable version of the weapon. However, in Aion 2, developers at least have confirmed that we are going to have melee and extendable range weapons. How will that exactly work? I'm not sure, because what kind of range then we have, for example, classes like Ranger, Spiritmaster, Sorcerer, range classes? That will be probably insane. Probably they have some idea already in the mind. Just to let you know, Ranger, main class longbow, it will remind a lot on Ranger from original Aion, and absolutely extendable weapon will be mandatory to get. Why not to get additional range? Let's go forward with one of my favorite classes of Aion 2, probably even my main class of Aion 2, and that is Chanter. Main weapon of the class, staff. Chanter in Aion 2 will remind a lot on original Chanter from original Aion. Mantras are there, also some range skills we are seeing here, and staff as main weapon. Also, there are some healing abilities that is very important for Chanter. However, what is different for Chanter in Aion 2, it's looking that Chanter in Aion 2 will have much higher DPS output than Chanter in original Aion. And I know that many of you veteran players will be happy about that, because Chanter in original Aion was amazing support class, which was almost perfect, especially in PvP 1 versus 1. From my experience, one of the best classes in PvP 1 versus 1. However, it did lack DPS. However, now, developers of this game, NCSoft, they have added more of DPS output to Chanter, lots of AoE skills, dash to the target, free mantras, at least we have seen free mantras so far, one healing ability, not only for you, but also for your party members within 40 meters range. Actually, very good healing ability. I'm talking about one skill where you can heal yourself and your party members within 40 meters range instantly for a nice amount of HP. And not only that, every few seconds more HP is added. It's healing. So that's really cool, right? So I think Chanter will be a very powerful class, and main weapon of this class, staff. Not a surprise, but again, it would be nice to see Chanter maybe using some other weapons. Then we need to talk about Cleric. Main weapons of this class are shield and mace. I almost said sword and shield. That is for Templar. However, for Cleric, shield and mace. Looking amazing in action, beautiful class, looks like with little bit of weaker healing than Cleric in original Aion, however with more DPS output and more of AoE skills. We have seen already Cleric in action, how is looking gameplay of the Cleric, but we still didn't see any kind of details regarding skills of the Cleric. Obviously, still main healer of Aion 2, Chanter will be support class, Cleric main healer. However, how much healing will be in Aion 2? Important. Of course, it will be important for endgame content, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, but FGT players who have played already Aion 2 for the first time, they're mentioning that Cleric healing feels weak and that you need to rely on yourself on blocking, dodging, parrying, blinking, dashing, if you understand what I mean. Regarding Cleric, what to say except that in gameplay, what we have seen so far, class is looking magnificent. We have seen lots of DPS from Cleric. Servants are there. That's normal. We have seen damage type of the servant. Probably there will be also healing type of the servant. Same like in original Aion. Main weapon of this class will be shield and mace. Let's go forward with another amazing range DPS class, and that is a Sorcerer. Main weapon of this class, book or spell book, however you want to call it, and the only weapon of this class. We've already seen also a little bit of Sorcerer in action. This class, same like in original Aion, will have lots of CC skills and lots of damage burst. Regarding everything else, that remains to be seen. We have seen some indications regarding wintry armor, reflection, maybe, that remains to be seen. Freeze, root, sleep, curse tree is here, so it will remind a lot on Sorcerer from original Aion. So main designation of this class will be lots of CC abilities with damage. Strangely, FGT players are mentioning that Sorcerer didn't have that much damage, that it was all about CC, but I wouldn't trust completely to that experience. Maybe it was only problem regarding skill of the players, because you need to know how to play correctly Sorcerer on correct way, and it would be really strange that we would have Sorcerer as magical DPS range kind of class with low damage. That doesn't make any sense. However, let's see what will happen in the future. What we know so far, lots of CC abilities definitely are here for Sorcerer. Main weapon of this class is a book or spell book. And on the end, we have a Spiritmaster, which similar to original Spiritmaster from original Aion, have orb as main weapon. Actually, not one orb, 2 orbs. Yes, you heard right. Not one, but 2 orbs. What we have seen so far regarding Spiritmaster in action, gameplay is looking very good. We didn't see too much, but we have seen a little bit of Spiritmaster in action. It's looking very good. This class, same like in Spiritmaster in original Aion, have spirits, but they are going to work on a little bit different way. In Aion 2, they are going to be more like turrets, not like that you can command them. They are going to automatically attack the target. Also, fear is here as one of the main skills of this class. Yes, of course, there is 1 AoE fear, maybe even 2 AoE fears with damage, and 1 single target fear. That will be very important for group PvP, faction versus faction, 4 versus 4, 8 versus 8. Spiritmaster will be mandatory to have in a party, because if you have a Spiritmaster which knows how to play correctly their own class, then this is difference between victory and losing. If fear is timed properly, that's it. That's it. AoE fear, you know what I mean? If that fear procs, that's it. That other party is done if you focus properly. So Spiritmaster, main weapon of this class, 2 orbs. Not 1, but 2 orbs. So for today, just to let you know regarding this surprising change, I would say it's not any more surprising on one way, because we already have that information a long time ago from NCSoft. But I was also expecting that in Aion 2, for each class, we are going to be able to use lots of different kind of weapons. Different classes, different weapons, at least 2 or 3 weapons per class. However, that is not the case. For now, only 1 weapon per class. Like I already said, for Gladiator, it will be Greatsword. For Templar, it will be Sword and Shield. For Assassin, it will be Daggers. For Ranger, it will be Longbow. For Chanter, it will be Staff. For Cleric, it will be Shield and Mace. For Sorcerer, it will be Spellbook. And for Spiritmaster, it will be 2 orbs, or orb as main weapon. Maybe in the future, developers of this game, NCSoft, have intention to add maybe 2 or 3 available weapons for each class. However, for now, this is actually sounds on one way pretty good idea. No swapping of weapons. Weapon which you are using, that's it. Many MMORPGs, new games released in the last few years, have that system where you can swap actively in the combat between 2 weapons. However, Aion 2 went into different direction. Developers of the game have decided to make only 1 weapon available per class, so no swapping. It is what it is, weapon which you are using. Like I said, maybe in the future updates with higher level cap. Currently level cap in the game is 45. Maybe in the next big major update, we get 2nd weapon for each class. Maybe no swapping still, right? But still you can use maybe another weapon. but for now, no. Or maybe, like I said on the start of this video, maybe they have intention to use other weapons, possible weapons like polyarm, like scythe, like maybe, who knows, right, different kind of weapons. Maybe they are going to use for other new classes. Regarding new classes of Aion 2, which are coming in the future, we know something. And I'm preparing special video, dedicated video only about that topic because it's very interesting information from NTSoft. You will see it soon on my YouTube channel. For today, just to let you know, regarding this very interesting situation in Aion 2, one weapon for each class in Aion 2. If you are interested into Aion 2, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm preparing lots of guides for new players, PvP-wise and PvE-wise, best builds for each class, crafting, guilds, news, and updates. Everything what you need to know from World of Aion 2, you'll find it here on my YouTube channel. Also, follow me on Twitch. I'm live streaming every single day, mandatory, no skipping. Visit me on Twitch every day about 7 p.m. Central European Time. If you have any kind of questions regarding the game, I'll be glad to answer and also to keep you updated regarding everything what is happening in World of Aion 2. Thank you for watching the video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitch and see you soon with another Aion 2 video.